My internet has been acting up recently.
It's all those trees. They're messing with the signal.
I don't think it works that way, but okay.
I don't know how. Honestly, I have no clue how internet works.
It's like Wi-Fi. It's like a router. Just like
But
any
like,
other.
is it waves? Like, what is Wi-Fi?
Today, we discuss.
You're listening to Catchupcast, the podcast where, believe it or not, we do not discuss condiments.
So how are you? How's life been? It's been a
Pretty
couple
good. How are
weeks.
you?
I'm good. I'm really tired. Yeah, I'm just tired. I don't
How
know.
come? How come? Because I'm tired too. Maybe we can talk about it.
Like, I thought with the show being over, because it ended a couple weeks ago, I'd have like more free time.
Mm-hmm.
But it turns out like I also have to do homework and stuff,
Oh,
which is crazy.
that like you weren't doing before?
Yeah, because I was like, oh, I'll just do the show. I'll focus on the show. So now it's just like I'm up late. I'm also, procrastinating, which is bad, but just kind of overwhelmed. And I have a rehearsal for something every day now.
Oh, so that show's over, but not the rest of them.
I've got a show that opens at the end of the month. I've got different choirs that I'm in.
I think you just got too many shows in your life. Too many things you're trying to show people going
I
on.
think you're right. I think I gotta hold back a little bit and
Yeah,
keep some of my secrets.
that's right. Keep all those secrets. Keep them real good.
So you have a lot you wanted to talk about. But what have you been up to first? Before we get onto the list.
Not much. I just came from the library where I was getting
What you
some work
working on?
done, some writing for the
Oh yeah,
creative writing
because
class.
you're being required to do NaNoWriMo, right?
Yeah. I don't know if required is like the right word. I signed up for the class. It's not like nothing in life's required, but yeah.
And this is you're basing it on the short story Ackerville River, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't
yeah.
find. I was trying to find text of it online. I couldn't find that, but
Yeah, you can't
there's a
really
video
find
of the
it.
band reading the story, which I thought was kind of fun.
Yeah, I know, which is really
So you
convenient.
get
It's
to.
really sweet. Yeah, I don't know what the like licensing rights for that are, but I'm gonna totally totally shout that out. Is like that's
Hell
where I
yeah!
got it from.
Are you enjoying it? It's what, the second? Is it the second?
It's the second
So
day.
you're what?
Yeah,
3,000 words in?
I don't know. I'm actually more like 6. Let me check.
6 words or 6,000 words?
Yeah, just 6 words. Just
It
6
was a
good
dark
ones.
and stormy night. Oh, it was a dark and stormy. Oh, it was dark and stormy. That's all.
That's a drink.
Is it?
Yeah, our
You
dark
can
and
see how much
stormy.
I go out.
It's like I forget what's in it.
Some sort
Probably
of boozy.
probably alcohol. How many words do I have? Let me check. Let's see. I got 6,200.
That's a lot of words. And this is just yesterday and today.
Yeah, so that's one thing I want to talk about is that we started at midnight on November 1st.
So like
So
Halloween
really,
midnight. The spookiest of all
Halloween midnight.
midnights.
A good Halloween, the spookiest holiday. I don't know. Easter's pretty up there.
Yeah, that bunny coming into
but
your house is real. Or
well,
the rising
more
of
the
raising of the yeah. But this is a
anyway,
non-denominational podcast.
we don't need to make fun of Easter for how spooky it is. Yeah, so we started at midnight and then wrote through the morning, just because we felt like it. So
You say we. Was it like you
yeah,
and
it
people
was
sitting and writing? Or
it was the class. Yeah,
the
the
class
class.
met at midnight to write?
Yeah, it wasn't required. Like we didn't have to, but
Yo,
most
that's
people showed up.
dedication.
At least
I'm
for a little bit.
impressed.
Yeah, it was a real dumb idea. I think on my list, where's my list? I didn't text you. I didn't write the list down. I just texted you because like, why would I
Kids
write it
these
down
days
twice?
and their digital dependency.
Oh, for sure, man. I need to not look at a computer screen for at least some
That
hours of my
is
day.
relatable as hell.
But well, news on that as well. We'll get to that. But anyways, I guess well, foreshadowing. Great. What did I say? Oh yeah, sleep deprivation and all-nighters. Have you ever
I
pulled an
have pulled a
all-nighter?
lot of all-nighters. Not since freshman year, so it's been a couple years.
Not since you only
I mean,
did it
I've
in
pulled a
freshman year.
couple like
You say this?
late-nighters, like last week actually, and I'll touch on this a little bit later. I was up till 4:30 working on a film, but then I went to bed and slept for 5 hours after that.
That's pretty darn close. There are people literally walking through your screen right now. Is that where are you? Are you doing this in a hallway?
I'm doing this in the basement of my dorm. It's
In the basement.
Yeah, it's usually like a quiet place where not a lot of people go through, but occasionally people will pass through, which is annoying.
What? I don't think my dorm had. Well, it does have a basement, but okay. Why would you do it in the basement?
Because my roommates like to just watch Netflix in the room. I thought I'd just give them some peace and quiet.
Hopefully with headphones, I would hope. People who watch Netflix without headphones are sociopaths. Can I say that?
I think
Can
so.
I legally say that?
I always have these on,
Okay, great.
except Fall Break when I watched the
Yeah.
whole season of Avatar without headphones because no one else but me was in the room. So
Still psychopath.
I was on a TV.
Sociopath.
I plugged my anyway. We were talking about all nighters. Yeah, I pulled a couple, like I said, late nighters, but I usually sleep for a couple hours after that.
Yeah, I literally got no sleep. Like I went straight from writing at midnight. I tried to get 45 minutes of sleep right before midnight, around 11, but it just wasn't gonna happen. And then went straight from that to running practice at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then came back to then have breakfast and then go back to writing in the morning.
So
And then had class in the afternoon after that.
So have you slept since November 1st? Did you sleep last night?
I got sleep last night, yeah.
Enough?
I didn't go to bed as soon as I probably should have, but I got some sleep last night.
But I assume you're still a little loopy.
Very loopy. Yeah, there was a time during lunch yesterday where I took a nap right before lunch, and then I, a quick nap, an accidental nap too. I was
The best kind. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Those are stressful as hell.
Because the thing is,
But
I'm realizing that my productivity is so low this year because I don't have a desk in my room.
why don't you have a desk?
Because it's really small and there's no room for a desk, so I've got my bed and I have a chair and a couple of milk crates next to my desk to make a nightstand. I got my closet with a dresser and some things hanging on a hook, and that's about it. I don't have a desk.
So where do you do homework?
In my bed, which is
That's
dangerous.
that's one of the top, if you Google productivity tips, one of the top ones is don't do your homework in bed. You'll just sleep instead.
Top productivity tips for a millennial office: don't do your homework in your bed.
You gotta get a standing desk or something. That's really
Yeah,
embrace
that
the
would be
millennial
nice.
culture.
I'm just thinking of an office cubicle and productivity tips. Don't do your homework in your desk. And they're I've been out of school for decades now, and there's no beds in this entire office building. Anyways, yeah. So my productivity is really low because I don't have a desk. And sitting my computer on my lap while I'm sitting in a chair kind of doesn't really work. It's not the right angle, and your wrists are weird. So
You have to angle the screen in a weird way, and that is
yeah.
it's weird
Yeah,
weight balance.
so working on anything in my bed is I'm gonna fall asleep eventually, given enough time. And I was already really, really tired from staying up all night the night before. So I fell asleep, and then somehow I managed to wake up 5 minutes before lunch, and which is important because I had a lunch meeting with
that's very important.
a lunch meeting with a faculty member to then go to class in the afternoon because I was TAing this class. We had to talk about what we were going to do. And so I woke up with a gasp and oh god, totally disoriented, not knowing what time it was, or I figured out pretty quickly that I was in my room. But then after that I was what the heck? It was a strange time. And then walking into lunch and it was very disorienting, but I'm back now, I think.
You think? That's good.
I don't know. We probably live in a simulation, anyways.
I actually was having that conversation last night with one of my friends, because I've been in mental breakdown mode all week, so existential dread of that ilk has just sort of been the norm. Because apparently, in one of the Sims games, you can there's an option to play.
Force your sim to have existential dread.
Well, what I'm about to say, yeah. You can play the Sims in the Sims.
Whoa.
Which are we just a game of The Sims in like some higher powers The Sims game? Like or if we play The Sims, you know what I mean? Like I don't know, it really stressed me out. Like
What if there
more
was
than
multiple higher powers out there, like creators that had like control over the universe, and there's like other planets out there that have living life that like so-called aliens we would call them, but they're competing to see who's like doing the best job of like creating
that's
like.
actually kind of how higher powers work in Theldon, the world that I write about. So
Hmm.
if that's how it is, we both touched onto that, and we're enlightened.
Yeah, and then we're probably gonna die because we caught on, and they don't want the rest of the world to know.
Next
So
time you
we'll
go
just.
swimming, make sure the ladder's still there.
I saw that. That's pretty funny. That's yeah. You can't get out of a pool without a ladder.
No, it's
Everybody knows that.
impossible.
Straight impossible. Well, do you have a list? What else
I've
is on
got
your
a
list? What are
couple
we
things,
doing?
but while we're on the topic of all-nighters, what's the
Great.
longest you've ever been awake?
I think I've done 74 hours. I think I've done 3 days.
How? Mine's
It wasn't
40, and
great.
I almost died with 40 hours, so I
This was
can't
back in high
imagine.
school,
Back,
actually.
why?
So we had a camping trip, and then followed by like a dance on that like I don't know, it was a camping trip Friday night, followed by a dance on Saturday night, and then both of those nights I didn't get any sleep. So then I went to bed like the next day night. So like Sunday night I went to bed. It was pretty close to 72 hours.
Yeah, eventually that, like, that's, like, you start to die eventually. Like, you
But I suppose it
hallucinate,
wasn't
and,
like
like,
total. It wasn't total like awakeness. Like I got some hours of like semi sleep in
Mhm.
there, but it wasn't great. Maybe like 4 collectively
that's
over
not,
the
that's,
over the
it's pretty good.
72 hours.
It's not great.
No, it
It's pretty
wasn't great at
good. Like,
all.
it's okay.
It's okay.
This was freshman
Nothing's
year of
not never
college.
okay.
I had
You
a
had what?
paper to write or something that should have been easy, but I, like, just couldn't write it. So I stayed up all night, had 6 Red Bulls. I remember that. Like,
That's
over the
not
course
good.
of one
That'll
night,
definitely
drank
kill you.
6 Red Bulls. I think 3 of these Awake bars. They're like caffeinated, extra caffeinated chocolate. Each one's about a cup of coffee. And I think I had another
Yep,
cup
no
of
good.
coffee within that. So that's like 10, 10 caffeines, if we can use
10 cat.
10 caffeines. But then I had all my classes that day.
Oh no.
So like it just kept. So like I stayed up all night, right? And then I went through all 4 classes. I had 3 rehearsals. I remember, and during one of these rehearsals, I was singing. I was like standing up with my music, singing, and I fell asleep mid like on my feet, actively singing, and that was sort of the sign
Yeah,
that I should sleep.
I've fallen asleep while canoeing before.
That seems real dangerous, Isaac.
Actually, not very. I mean, like my balance was still there. Like I'm not gonna like fall out of the boat, but it
That's
was
true.
like
If you fall asleep,
just like yeah, just sort of like nodded off and then like woke up and like kept paddling.
still, I'd rather fall asleep in a kayak than a canoe.
Mm,
Canoes are more tippy.
I don't know why everybody's into kayaks. I don't
They're
know.
less
I'm a
tippy.
canoe man myself.
I think it
That is not
depends.
true. It
I like.
depends on the canoe and the kayak,
That's
right? There's
true.
like different types.
Have you seen those like open kayaks? They kind of look like paddle boards.
You mean paddle boards?
No, but they're like kayaks. But they're basically paddle boards. But they're really weird. I don't know. I like the idea of sitting in the cockpit of a kayak. Like,
You like been getting strapped in? You like being contained?
yeah, it's my little like floaty X-wing.
Great. Well, on that note, what else is on your list?
What else is on my list? I too have it. Well, my list is physical, but I took pictures of it, so I also am reliant on
What does that mean? Why would you do that?
because I've got them on Post-its on my desk, and I didn't feel like bringing the Post-its downstairs.
Oh, so you took a picture on your phone
Yeah.
too? Wow.
So we briefly talked about the spookiest holiday besides Easter. But I was just curious what Halloween's like at the school you attend. That I'm gonna not name because it's a mess, and it's been a mess all week. Like it's just everyone's partied every night.
I don't. There was one party Saturday night and it was fine, and there was some like casual trick or treating. Well, no, there was more partying throughout the week too, I suppose, but not too bad. I feel like it was just pretty much contained to that Saturday night, and it was like the Saturday previous, not
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Not tomorrow, Saturday.
Yeah. And it was like pretty good and fun and like yeah, it wasn't. I mean, it was like a pretty normal. I mean, it was a good party. Like it was a rager for sure. Like a good cranking good one. But it wasn't anything out of the usual, I
Mhm.
suppose.
I mean, rager with what defines a rager? Because here you get like 100 people at a party, but that's your whole school.
Yeah, we got like I don't know. There's probably like 70 people around. Like there's a lot of people for sure. And it was in like one of the dorms like common space and played some music and there was areas for folks that didn't want to drink or participate in substances. So there was like one of the dorms that was close by had like a movie marathon, Halloween movie marathon going on. But that was like substance free, so like if people didn't want to hang around folks that were drinking or like they could just go to the movie marathon and hang out over there and there was snacks and yeah, it was great.
And is that
Good
where
one.
parties usually are? Is in like dorm common areas and stuff?
Yeah, we don't really have yeah, yep. Unless they're in the dining hall, I suppose, but yeah, usually not. Did you dress up for Halloween?
Uh, I wore a Captain America T-shirt. I mean that.
But you do that anyways.
Yeah, but I did it on Halloween, so I was Captain America, but like half-assed. Last year I legitimately went as half-assed Captain America last year, which was kind of the peak of
No,
my
no, that sounds
costumes.
like what you did this year.
No, this year was quarter-assed because I didn't have the rest of it. I spent $5 on my costume last year because I already had the T-shirt, and I bought like a cheap plastic mask at Target, uh, like a Captain America mask. I mean, it looked real stupid. I'll send you a photo because it was really funny. And then I had a piece of cardboard and I cut it into a circle and drew a really bad star on it that was like sort of off center. And then
Wow.
I just sort of held it like this. It was funny. Like I deliberately tried to
Was
make
it?
it look
I feel like if you have to tell somebody that was funny, it probably wasn't.
every joke I've ever told. Um, but this I don't know. There's a party tonight I'll probably go to and costumes are recommended. So I'll figure something
Really?
out.
I feel like everybody here is pretty much over it already.
Well, this is like the theater Halloween party.
Oh God.
Also, no one ever stops partying here. So there was parties last
Oh
weekend for
God.
Halloween.
Theater Halloween party. That
There
sounds
was a party
terrifying.
Wednesday for Halloween, and there's a party tonight for Halloween. It's lit, bruh. Listeners, you can't see it, but Isaac's just raising his eyebrows, like very slowly and methodically.
Things on my list. Halloween party. Check that. I don't know why I have waffle lines on there again. I haven't.
We
I
talk
don't know
about
what that.
waffles a lot. I have a waffle topic, but I want to do one of yours first.
If it's waffles versus pancakes, I don't want to. I don't want to get into that.
Well, it's not what's better.
No, I think that's what it's gonna come down to.
That's not where I'm going with it. I have a story.
Go for it.
So, one of my friends during fall break, she was on campus, and I was on campus, and we were both kind of bored. So she's like, "Why don't you come over? We'll make some breakfast for dinner and watch TV." And I was like, "Yeah," because that's what I was doing in my own room anyway. So I thought I might as well do it like another human. So she made waffles, but in the form of pancakes.
I don't get it.
Well, up till that point, I was assuming waffles and pancakes were the same exact thing, just shaped differently. Like how all pasta is the same. It's just like whether it's a bow tie or a long, stringy thing.
Yeah, but there's different types. You can have like whole wheat pasta. You can have like different types. You can have like different
and you
consistencies.
can
of
have
pasta.
like buckwheat pancakes versus like buttermilk pancakes too.
It's true.
But I thought,
And?
well, if you make waffle mix and cook it as a pancake, isn't that just a pancake?
Yeah.
But apparently the recipes are different, which I'd never known. Waffles are more like light and fluffy.
That's true because they do rise a little bit when you.
And like the proportions are different. It's the same ingredients, but like.
Okay.
So I think we ended up calling them poffles or something. But like,
No.
I don't know. I was just like, I found it intriguing that like they're actually different. And I never really thought about it.
I guess I didn't know that. Yeah. The batter is different consistencies.
I don't know what happened if you cooked pancake mix in a waffle maker though. So maybe that's the next experiment.
Cake mix in a waffle maker?
Well, pancake mix. Like if a waffle cooked as a pancake.
Oh,
It's like a light and airy pancake. If you cook you can make pancakes mixed in a waffle iron, does that produce a different result?
Well, I saw people putting like bacon in their waffles and then closing the
In
iron
the waffles?
in the
Ooh.
Adventure Time making bacon pancakes, but making bacon waffles when you close the iron, like put it in there and like you scoop the. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, you put the mix in, and then like before you close the iron, you put bacon in, so it cooks into
Yeah.
them. That's really smart.
Well, the bacon was already cooked, but isn't that
But
what?
like it becomes contained within the waffle itself rather than like a side thing. It's
Yes.
fancy.
Right.
This is like our third episode where we've talked about waffles.
I don't mind.
I think that's an important topic that isn't discussed enough.
Let's see.
So that's another thing off my list, actually. So.
Check. Checking them down. Let's see. So I like to go through your list first. That way, if there's something on my list that I actually don't want to talk about, then we don't get to it.
Well, I have one more thing on my list, and then
Great. I gotta start thinking about how I want to talk about these things. Go for it. What's on the list?
this is less fun, and it's just something I was thinking about, and you seem to be someone who sort of, I feel like could have something
It's less
interesting
fun?
to say. It's less like waffles and more like life management skills, which I think loses some of the effect when the audience can't see my jazz hands that I was doing for those.
No.
So
It actually, I think it's better for them not to see that.
thanks. I tried really hard on those jazz hands, but it's fine.
They were so happy.
So
All right, let's do it. What is it? Come on.
So I decided recently that, like, instead of that, I would try to schedule every day of my life, like this is-
Until your death.
well, I mean, for the semester. So like, this is when I'm going to eat
Okay.
lunch on this.
So until
day.
your death.
Yeah. Who's
Okay, sorry.
But like,
Go ahead.
I've got a Word document, and it's just basically a table with every day and like all the hours in the day, and like here's when I have.
Why
class,
didn't you make that in Excel?
Because I don't know how to use Excel, and I'm too afraid to ask at this point.
But like, there's a spreadsheet in. Sorry, go ahead. I don't need to criticize your choices.
No, I tried Excel, and then it just was stressful.
Like that's what that's for.
I
table
know.
in Word is like
I know.
is a bit extraneous, you know. Sorry, go ahead.
But like, because I thought if I had each day structured and like got into a routine, maybe I'd be
Okay.
less stressed out. Because at camp, you know, you're on a routine, and so each day sort of has this sort of order and balance. But I haven't really been good at that. But I was just curious what your thoughts are on like living on a routine versus sort of like spontaneity and, you know, going with the flow type thing.
Interesting. Yeah, I think it depends on. Yeah. I don't know what it depends on. I think I don't know. I've tried scheduling. So here. Do you remember in high school when we had those like agenda planner things?
Yes.
They were like kind of supposed to be our hall passes, but nobody ever really did that. And they were also like each day had like was separated out for like your classes.
Right, so you
and
can write
like,
down your homework and stuff.
Write down your homework. Write down like study things. And folks, well, like. So I was in that class in high school where they like helped you work on your homework and like get things done or whatever and like make sure you weren't failing your classes.
I could use one
And
of
they
those
were
right
like-
now.
And they were like, you have to write in this. You have to use this planner. Like this is the one thing you can use. And they'd like check it every day and be like, did you write your stuff down? Did you do it? Like they boiled my life down. Well, they didn't boil my life down to it. They were just really emphasizing this planner. I was like, but like I don't really want to do that. And they're like, too bad, like, you're going to do it. Like, oh, great. So we got in this whole argument, and, like, it took me all 4 years of high school to figure it out. But now I realize that I'm doing that, but just in my journal now. It's like, gosh darn it, you were right. You were freaking right. But I have a point still.
Okay.
And that is that in my journal, that's the method that I want to go with, right? That's the way that I do it. And I do it in, like, a little tiny, like, 3x5 thing that's, like, in my pocket. And like that's like sort of the method that I developed, right? I learned the rule of like always using the planner, but I knew how to break it as far as like making it my own style, right? So like they were kind of right in like building that foundation of consistency and like writing and like
But they're so
being
rigid in how
accountable
they
for your thing.
made
But they were like,
you
you have to use this exact thing.
exercise
It
it.
was
Yeah.
too much of a rule. I mean, maybe not in high school. Maybe that was like the right thing. Maybe I wouldn't have had like the conscious ability to like make a better decision.
I
'Cause I
mean,
was a bit of
yeah,
a
that's high
kid.
school. Everyone is bad at that.
So it makes sense to give like more rigidity than you would otherwise. But now it's like, okay, now you know the rule, now break it, but that's also creating your style. Know what you're gonna do to then like make it your own and still accomplish the same thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, they talk about that a lot. They, the proverbial they, in with writing, like you have to like know all the grammar rules and like sentence structure and all that before you can like experiment with it and sort of be creative. And it's probably with film too. You have to like know the different shots and stuff. I think, but that's the point, right? Is you have to learn sort of the strict, rigid structure of something before it blossoms.
Well, before you just decide to throw it all away and come up with your own actual way of doing things. That's why all these tip like videos about like, oh, like 50 tips to make your life more productive, or like or whatever you said. Don't do homework on the bed. I don't know. But like they're practically pointless because they're like just a set of blanket rules, right? And they're not like adaptive to your situation and your personality and what you like to do. And they might help to start out with, but then like eventually you're going to want to break them,
Right,
and
make it your
but
own
just
thing.
knowing how to break them and still accomplishing your goals is the point.
It's very wise, Isaac.
So I don't know if that answers your question about life organization or not.
I don't know if it does either, but I think it's a lot more interesting than just being like, should life be organized? So I think I'm glad we had that conversation.
See, I
Yeah.
like answering questions that make people question why they questioned that. Like I'm not answering your question deliberately or like directly, but
But
now
you're
you don't have that question
spinning it
anymore, right?
exactly.
Yeah,
But you know what that means now that my question's been addressed.
it's been neutralized.
It's your turn to present a discussion topic. I've got one more that came to mind, so it's not all you now, but
This is supposed to. Okay, yeah. Anyways, Oh, okay. So one important thing that you don't know about yet, but I know about, but you should know about, and all of our listeners should know about, is that come the spring semester, come after January,
that's when
um,
spring is, yeah.
I got on to the Southwest field semester or another field semester like I
Yo,
did last fall.
that's
So
fantastic.
yeah, it's amazing. But there's gonna be another hiatus,
I mean, that's the podcast now, right? Is we get a couple episodes out and then
and
a couple
then
months off.
Isaac goes away forever, and then comes back in a couple episodes, go away
Ventures
forever.
off on a journey into the wilderness. And
Yeah, quite literally with that one.
so where are you going? Because you went to California for the one last year, right?
Yeah, so this is in New Mexico, Texas, and Arizona.
Fun places.
Yeah, all great places, but all in deep wilderness areas, like federally designated wilderness areas. I think some of them aren't. Some of them are like forest preserves and things like that, like other designations. But I believe the majority of them are federally designated wilderness areas, which is like really special, really awesome. We don't have a whole lot of them on the East Coast, so that's cool. Yeah, completely new environment with a set of 10 people and just doing it. Yeah, having class. Oh, another interesting point is that I got a TA position on the course.
You
also,
mentioned
a
that,
teaching
and I
position.
was. So what's the class that you're TAing?
Expedition skills.
Which you're now a master at. With
I now,
scouts and
yeah,
camp
I'm pretty good at, I would
and
say. There's certainly some things that are specific to the desert environment that I'm not as knowledgeable in because I don't live there. But yeah, certainly pretty excited to share my knowledge there.
yeah, that's
I'm TAing a
fantastic.
class currently on campus also, so it'll sort of transition pretty easily.
I gotta get that good TA money, right?
I don't get any money for this.
They don't pay you to TA.
I get credit.
Oh man,
I get imperial credit.
we don't want your credits.
Also, it's a graduation requirement for my degree.
To TA or to specifically do this, or to TA
TA.
for this.
to TA.
And so,
Yeah,
what are you
so-
going to be doing in the deep South wilderness?
The Deep South.
The deep South is its own wilderness, but the wilderness within the deep
Florida?
South too. Texas is deep South. I'd say.
Yeah, no, it is the South. It's the Southwest. I feel like if you say the South, people are like, oh,
That's true. Like Atlanta, Florida, that sort of.
yeah.
I mean, well,
Um,
Georgia, Atlanta's not a state.
Atlanta.
Oh man.
So we're doing 4 classes. Yes. One is expedition skills, what I'm TAing. One is natural history, which is sort of like ecology, biology, sort of environmental studies, mostly focused on plants and geology. Small group dynamics, which of course is very important on a expedition this long with
Yeah. How long is
this
it?
few people. It's 85 days.
So that's about the same as the one you did in California.
Yep. And there's the final class is historical lifeways, so looking at the way that ancient native peoples lived on the interacted with the landscape that we'll be exploring.
That sounds so cool.
Yeah, this is gonna be great.
I can't wait to hear all about it.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm pretty nervous as well, but yeah. So that means we're not gonna have another episode after like January. Well, we'll
We'll make sure we chug a bunch out during winter
yeah,
break.
maybe this is like a little too like behind the scenes, but yeah, I won't be yeah. So when is your January? Do you have break in January, or do you have a
I have
J
break
term?
from. Actually, that's a good question. I don't have a J term. Dennison got rid of that, which is smart because I like time off. So I go back the. Oh, that's interesting. It's not up there, is it? End of January, probably.
End of January.
Well, late January, like mid-late.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Cool. So we'll both be in town. We can sort of get some episodes
Yeah.
out then. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down to just chill. Winter
Because then
break's gonna be a godsend.
after the beginning of February till like May, I won't be available. I'll be available kind of, but like not to. I don't know. Did I call you once over the California semester
I don't think you did.
at all?
It's kind of hurtful.
No. Sorry.
That's fine.
I had very little time
No, dude,
and
that was
many
a
people to call.
busy time for me too.
I was also a bit distracted with some other. Anyways. Shouldn't have said that. Let's move on.
Yes, okay.
So that's happening. That falls under the desserts in deserts.
That was my favorite topic you've ever suggested. Desserts and
Desserts and
deserts. I thought that was really quite wonderful. That might be the episode
Yeah.
title, just because I love it so much. But
Could be.
So what
Which
else?
means we have to talk about desserts. The one with one S.
got
No,
some
the one with
candy
two
here.
S's.
That's...
Yeah, what's your favorite Halloween candy? Did we talk about this?
Oh, we didn't, but that's a really good question. It's hard. There's so many candies I like.
I don't I don't pick favorite.
I like Twix a lot. Twix are good.
For sure.
Milky Way, it lasts a long time because of the caramel in it, so it just sort of stays in your mouth. You know what I mean?
It's a good point. Sometimes
then-
I don't want that though.
Well, right. It depends on your mood. Like if I'm stressed, a Milky Way is really good because I can be like, oh, get some good chocolatey, caramely taste in my mouth for a little bit. Put off
Has
the
good
existential dread
mouthfeel,
for
as
5
they would
minutes
say.
while I feel food in my mouth.
Well, I feel. Is that the sense called taste? Is that one of our 5 senses? It goes see.
What was it like?
Hearing,
There's like the thing
feeling,
with your hands. You touch your
mouthfeel.
chin, mouthfeel. Yeah. On your tongue, there's the mouth feelers,
little feelers.
and you
Little
all
feelers
the
on
white
your
things in your
tongue.
mouth, the mouth crunchers they call them.
Mouth crunchers and mouth feelers. Wow.
Wow, I hate the human body now. What about you? What do you like?
I don't know.
You posed this question. I thought you would have an answer ready.
I like those. What are they called? Waco, uh, uh, Nabisco wafers or whatever they are.
Oh, like the little big Smarties, essentially.
Yeah, but they taste like chalk instead. Nobody likes those.
No,
No.
they
You know
make
when it like
chocolate
finally
ones
gets
over
to
here.
like December when you were a kid and you went like trick or treating and like you had this whole like bag of candy. And then it finally gets to December and like you don't have any of your good candy
You just
left.
got the
And
stuff
it's
you've
just
been
like
putting off for.
the like yeah, the like
Did you
bottom of the
see?
barrel.
I saw an article somewhere, but apparently Reese's has like shipped out to a bunch of different locations these machines where you can bring the candy you don't like and put it in and exchange it for like Reese's cups or something.
No way.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Like,
That's dangerous. You know what? They're like inflating the artificial candy market.
well, right, it's the candy stock market's gonna crash eventually.
No, like really. Like think about it. Like you bring your candy to school, right? And then you'd like trade with other people or like you'd trade with like your brother or sister, like and then dad would take all the almond joys cuz he likes coconut. And like and no kid ever likes
No
coconut,
kid
right?
ever likes coconut.
N-
You used to get
Not
those like
even a one.
boxes of chocolates and like the mystery chocolates. Ooh, nougat, and you'd bite into the coconut. It was just like your day was ruined.
I'm imagining like a box of like Valentine's Day chocolates, but like all of them are half bitten and have coconut on the inside. It's the saddest picture you can imagine. Um, but yeah, so that black market of candy, right, is like, oh, you're like trading your friend for like the good stuff and like, but like amount is like also has a factor in there. Like if you have a lot of something, you can like trade because like you want more candy at the end of the
Right.
day, but you also you're trying to get your best value, right? So like they totally blew that up by creating this like of course Reese's Pieces are like high on the value list, so you can just like go in,
Well,
trade
now
all your
they've got
bad
the
candy,
monopoly on it. Yeah,
yeah, and then come out for like you know like that. I
that's
don't
true.
know.
I don't think they thought through the long term economic impact that's gonna have.
That's how I learned about economics was candy trading.
Honestly, not a bad metaphor there for economics.
Yeah,
I don't understand economics still to this day, but like I understand
no,
that
for sure.
that amount of it. How was your Halloween? Did you dress up as anything? It just occurred to me. I didn't ask you about that.
Did I tell you about my plan for graduation?
No, but I'm really intrigued now.
Okay, so me and a few other friends. This will get there eventually. Just hang in there.
Okay.
Me and a few friends decided like came up with an idea and we're like, wow, this is actually a really good idea. And if we either A, fail out of college, or B, once we graduate, we're gonna do this. And since we're all outdoor educators and we all are like relatively good at it, we've decided to waste our efforts on becoming backcountry wedding facilitators.
Yeah.
So say you want to have a wedding and you want to have it get like married, but in like the wilderness, in like on top of a cool mountain, or like in the middle of a lake on this like beautiful island, or
Or a boat.
while, yeah, right? Good idea to begin with.
Yeah, I would love to get married on a mountain.
So now we're gonna facilitate that. We'll guide you up the mountain. We'll like bring the champagne, and we'll become ordained ministers so that we can officiate the wedding. Now I have to say, I'm gonna put this out in the world. Like I'm gonna like say this on the podcast and know that's probably gonna never be heard of from anybody ever. But if somebody steals that idea, I swear to God,
You're gonna sue them or worse.
no, they'll just be our competition. And there's not that many dirtbags in the world that want to get married in the backcountry. So let's work on this
Dirtbags.
together.
These are your customers. You can't call them dirtbags.
Dirtbags is a term of endearment in the outdoors. I don't know if you know
Is it?
this.
Is it?
It is, absolutely it is. So like
So
Yvonne
if I hike the
Chouinard,
AT and I see some, I go, "Hey, dirtbag," they're gonna say thank you.
well, not if you say it in a derogatory way, but like being, I don't know. Just trust me on that one.
Okay.
Don't go around calling people dirtbags, but just know
I'm
that
gonna
like
do it. Rehearse
like-
one day. Go up to the director. Hey, you dirtbag. Like,
no,
it's
it's
a
like
term of endearment.
it's a term, but for people who live an outdoor lifestyle that are like me, that you can call me a dirtbag if you want.
Isaac, you're my favorite dirtbag.
well, thank you. That that are don't live in society's norms and like take a shower maybe every 3 weeks and like live outside of their car and like travel to different national parks and like that's like a lifestyle actually and like but it's claimed as like the dirtbag lifestyle. There's actually a podcast on I forget where, but it's called the Dirtbag Diaries, and it's about people who do that and their diaries.
The Dirtbag Diaries. I honestly might check that out. I
Okay,
branching out
so
a new
that's setting
podcast.
the scene. That's like setting the like.
This was just the setup?
This is the
Yo,
setup.
okay.
Okay, now imagine you're having a backcountry wedding.
Yeah.
Now
okay.
you also want to have a backcountry bachelorette party. Okay, the two go hand in hand. You
Yeah,
gotta admit.
let's get drunk and hike a mountain, boys.
Well, no, bachelorettes. Well, I suppose we haven't discussed if we'll do bachelor parties, but we'll cross that road when we come to it. So now imagine the park ranger that would show up to that bachelorette party. That's what I was dressed up as.
What did that entail exactly?
I'll
Tearaway
let your
pants
I'll let your imagination go there.
I'm just picturing a park ranger. I don't know if I should be imagining more. Are there photos of this?
No, I made sure that there were no photos that existed because I actually
That's
want to work for the Park Service one day.
incredibly disappointing, but I understand. I
So
do
that's
understand.
the image I'm trying to put. All of that was built up, and there you go. That's where I was for Halloween on
Not
the
much of
for
a
the Saturday
payoff.
party.
I'm
Not much
sorry.
of a payoff. There's people listening to this right now that are like, they're losing their mind. I bet
You bet.
it's gonna happen.
Okay. I'll ask around. I'll talk to the listeners. Do a poll.
Great.
Speaking
You
of
sure
polls, we
should.
didn't get any recommendations for your bean's name. Did you ever decide what to name your bean?
I have some unfortunate news for you.
No, no. It's been 3 weeks. You killed a bean in 3 weeks.
Well, I don't think I killed it. It never sprouted
Oh God.
and then turned to mush and then started to biodegrade into the soil.
Which, when you think about it, it's new life.
It is new life in a way that was meant to be accomplished, I suppose.
I'm like sad now.
Yeah, and it also very much like reaffirms my position at this school, right? It's like,
Right. You're
yeah,
not.
no, definitely should not be a sustainable agriculture major. Because a few of my friends right now are like deciding to change their major to become farmers instead from like outdoor educators. And which is like fine, like that's a
Yeah,
good
that's
decision for them, I
yeah.
suppose.
If that's what they
Whatever,
want to
people
do.
change their major. But I was like, wow, I really hope I don't do that. And then my bean died, and I was like,
That's a
yep,
sign,
definitely
right?
not doing that. It's a sign.
Divine intervention there.
Yeah.
Wow, this is cheery.
Yeah, it ended on a sad note. Anything else we want to talk about? Anything else on you said you had one more thing?
One more thing that's just kind of goofy, that you might find entertaining. So we were talking about parties earlier. We have these big apartments that the parties are thrown in for the most part here. And recently, it has been discovered that these apartments are structurally not great.
Okay.
There's risks of cave-ins, which is
Cave-ins?
like the floor might just
Like there's
poof.
caves in these buildings?
Unfortunately, that's not what I mean by cave-ins. Be real
Okay.
fun though, wouldn't it? If they're just like little goblins underneath the apartments. But the parties are now limited to about 30 people.
Oh, right.
For
like weight.
weight,
issues.
so the ceiling and floors don't collapse. Which is not great on Denison's party culture, which is sort of the only thing that Denison has in terms of culture is binge drinking and poor decisions.
That's funny.
But the question the administration was faced with is how do we, we need to give the students a space to let loose. What do we do? And so the obvious solution was to buy a giant heated tent and set it up in the parking lot on the weekends.
Wait, so they're like sponsoring the gathering of people.
Let's buy a tent or your apartments that you built cheaply cave in. So now, if you go walking on the weekend, you'll just see a big freaking tent. It's just so I don't know.
Well, so here's what you do. You like set up a garbage can, and then also set next to it a recyclables bin with like one of those circular tiny holes in it that fits a
For
can
bottles,
but
yeah.
nothing else. A bottle thing. And everybody will think that the school set it up, but you will actually have set it up, and then you take those redeemables and go get some money for it and make money. That's my suggestion.
That's a
It's my
really
pro
good
tip,
suggestion.
right? That's what you're gonna do. That's how you're gonna make your literally $5 for every weekend party.
Hey, that's more than I'm making most weekends. That's not true. I have a job now, but
You have a job?
I'm singing at a church choir in town.
Oh, nice.
And I'm getting $50 a week basically to do this.
Wow, that's pretty
good. So, it's like the most time I can probably spare, but a good payoff.
Nice.
Literally.
I actually just recently finished my job for this semester. Well, I might be getting a new one, but we're allotted, I think it's like 80 hours. I just finished my contract for that. So that's really exciting.
So now you can
Got some
chill
more
out.
extra time. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. That's convenient.
So it sounds like life is good then. Or at least isn't
It's a matter of perspective
horrible.
for sure.
Got anything exciting coming up?
Yeah, I think I'm going to a show tomorrow night in Burlington. That's a city in Vermont.
Well, you've talked about Vermont before. We haven't named where in Vermont you are, but I think people know you're.
I've probably also talked about Burlington before. Anyways, yeah, so I'm going to a show tomorrow night. It's like a funk rock, jazzy sort of like good sort of vibe.
That's like a great scene, yeah.
Show. Yeah, going with a whole bunch of friends. And some of, yeah, just great. It's gonna be good. I'm excited. We might go down early and do some climbing at a climbing gym or like go to Outdoor Gear Exchange or something. I don't know. We'll see. We'll just sort of like play it by ear.
Just chill out, yeah.
Yeah, go into the big city.
Big city.
Big city.
I like Burlington. It's not big, but
yeah, you went to Burlington recently?
It's been a couple years because I was visiting U of M, not U of M, UVM.
Because okay, but somebody that you know.
Yeah, my family was just up there because my sister's looking at school.
Okay, yeah. Okay, cool.
But I don't know.
I didn't know if I could say that or not.
I mean, my sister doesn't listen to this podcast. I think we'll be okay.
Is she going there? Is she going to UVM?
She'd like to. I think that's her top pick, and I'm sure she'll get in.
Cool.
She's smarter than I am, so.
For sure.
Well, that sounds like a wonderful weekend.
Yeah. How about you? What are you planning?
I have to show a movie tonight because that's my other job. Is I show movies on the weekends sometimes. So watching Incredibles 2 tonight, which I'm actually pretty excited for.
Incredibles 2: The Electric Boogaloo.
Yes, exactly. That's the one. And then tomorrow I have a
with wait, who's in that? Who voices
Sam Jackson's in it, and that's literally the only cast member I know.
Seinfeld?
Oh my god. Isaac, no. We can't do this again. We can't go back.
He's in
We got bad reviews for that portion of the episode.
What did they say? What did they say when I called them out?
I don't know if she's finished the episode where you called her out yet.
Oh no. Well, I suppose we'll see what happens.
And then I have Saturday night, my roommate wrote a play, and we're doing a staged reading of it to sort of get an idea of how people like it and what needs to change before we put it on as a production.
Cool.
So I'm reading a character from that, so that'll be fun.
Nice.
We're doing it in the graveyard. It'll be very spooky.
In the graveyard.
Yeah, we got a graveyard on campus.
Interesting.
Because, that's just how we roll here in Ohio. It's either corn or a graveyard.
Well,
but yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
That's all I got, too.
Well, it has been a pleasure, Isaac, as always.
It's been a privilege and an honor.
And until next time, have a wonderful
Christmas.